All right, this is the starting setup for the Battle of Nagashino. Um, this is the Takeda's last glory, as it were. Um, the Takeda Shinjin, is dead, and I believe it's finally been discovered that he's dead. That was kept hidden for several years. Uh, And this is actually, I think, the first battle after that's been discovered. And his son is, oops, well, I haven't deployed all his troops because it said to put one of them each next to the Hanjin, and there's one extra unit, so I'll be shoving that somewhere. But his son has ended up being forced to attempted a siege and actually attempted an outflanking maneuver to get a different siege, got one, then tried to take a siege on Nagashino Castle, and eventually had to give that up because it was being defended too stoutly. And he decides to turn and make his name on the battlefield. Unfortunately, he's outnumbered here. And Oda has also set up a very strong defensive position. Now, you're going to see these babo saku, basically little mobile, well, not very mobile, but palisades that they set up to defend that should break up the cav on an attack. This game has this particular scenario has some new rules some new rules for the Teppo. Oda's Teppo are using cartridges now, and they're able to do volley fire. So they're going to be much more devastating, and there's a lot of them on the field. What he doesn't have is a lot of cav, but he's defending behind a river, so that probably shouldn't be too big a hindrance, although the cav in this series, in this particular game system especially, has been incredibly powerful and has been what I've been relying on. On attacks, if you are facing, if the attacker isn't using cav, the defender can pretty much withdraw from outflanks. So you need the cav to pin them down. Now in this case, the overall attacker, the Takeda, have a significant amount of cav. But they probably don't want to go charging across the river as they kind of historically did. Now, I'm pretty much incapable of doing that, so I just cannot butcher my men that way. So I'm going to be attempting some sort of outflank, probably from the Takeda left, although I may also try from a little bit from the right, but that looks like nastier terrain. One interesting thing in this is yeah, I don't remember. Okay. Oh, yeah. So the Takeda especially have a lot of commanders who have very, very few units. And that's going to provide for an interesting situation because it's harder to command lots and lots of small units, especially with his activation rating of 1. Now, his activation rating can go up if he launches an attack, and obviously he has to. So some of the special rules, one is the Takeda charge, which is going to improve, it allows Takeda to declare all of his cav to make an attack at once, the Kibamusha. That's a kind of neat ability which will allow him to coordinate a huge attack all at once. I don't know if I'm going to use that. He also has an increased activation rating if he's willing to make an attack. If he's not making an attack, he doesn't get that, though. And the final one is an optional rule. Apparently Takeda some sources believe that he was fully aware of Oda's firepower advantage here. So he chose the particular day because it looked like it was going to rain. And the old arquebuses don't work very well in the rain, and that was actually tested out in a field attempt. Anyhow, I've got to go because my battery's running, but this should be an interesting battle. It kind of scares me the way it's all set piece. We'll see what happens. Okay, into the first turn. We see the Takeda beginning their assault on the right flank where the Tokugawa are. Oda had both of his kind of the lead units that were kind of outside the river line. He pulled them back first thing. Oops, forgot to move a couple of pieces. Other than that, not a lot happened. We saw some firing, which caused, I believe, a total of 2 casualties, maybe 3 or 4, I don't know. Not much. Yeah, it looks like 2 casualties on the Takeda. Oh, no, 4. I was mistaken. Okay, on the Takeda. That's the effect of this volley fire with the cartridges. Much, much more effective at range. So the Takeda actually cannot just stand there. Obviously, they have the option to fall back, but that kind of defeats the point of the game as a whole. So they're launching an attack against the Tokugawa. Sent 2 clans across. They didn't want to send a 3rd clan in yet because they want to try to reposition some units over to defend their own left flank rather than weaken it too much. After 2, we have this combat that we saw before starting to develop a little bit more. Tokugawa threw in his main force and pretty much halted the advance there, and then actually charged across the river with 1 clan, Osuga, and routed 2 units of the Takeda clan. I don't know which one this is. I can't see without looking here. Naito. And then over on the other side, we see the Takeda also launched an attack to keep the pressure on, and that went a little better for them, although across the line they took some definite shots from the Teppo. That's one of the reasons they attacked on the other flank. They're losing units or men pretty quickly to the firepower at this range and the concentrated volley fire. So we're beginning to see much more of a battle happen where on this side it definitely looks like a Takeda advantage right now, whereas on this side it's still kind of up in the air, which is to say, yeah, the Tokugawa got a big advantage with their launch on their attack, but now there's a lot of units that can swing into play against a couple of theirs that are going to be exposed. Of course, Honda was activated over here. Right? No, Honda over here was activated, which was kind of a bonus of that attack. All right, let's load this one up.